Gets open for three. Dagger!
Hello and welcome back to Well Beyond the Arc. I am Montana, joined always by my co-host David. First and foremost, we got a lot to get into, and I mean a lot. But before we get into that, before we get rolling, David, how are you doing, bro? How have you been since the last time we all talked?
Oh my God, I've been good. I've been good. Thank you for asking. It's been such a pleasure again to be here. Absolutely love this. Love talking about basketball. Thank you so much. Hope everyone at home is doing good. As well as I am. I've just been vibing, chilling, enjoying the snow days. I've had some snow days, so that's good. Good for me up in here. But thank you. Ready to get ready to get going. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, sir. Man, snow days. I can't say the same out here. It's all sun and not a lot of snow, bro. But so I remember the good old days of snow days are nice. I kind of miss that living back on the mainland. But getting right back into our lineup, you guys already know how we always get this thing started. We got some good news today. I'm gonna blow the lid right off right now. NBA player or is back today. We're not starting with that, but any of our fans that are big fans of NBA, we're rolling that back out today. David had a great first round of NBA player or, so we'll see how he does today. But before we get into that, you guys know how we get started. A little bit of good, bad, and ugly. Lots of good, lots of bad, and too much ugly. Let's get started with the good. What has been the top? Because for me, there's a lot. What has been the top? What is the best? What is your good for this episode?
My good. I had so many to pick up. We had some really good dunks, alley oops off the backboard. Those were really good. But my good has to be from last night. Joel Embiid dropped 70 points on the Spurs. The Spurs aren't that good, but still to drop 70 points through 4 quarters. He had 58 through 3 quarters. And then to top it up at 70, I think that was just impressive. He had the whole league talking about it. Everyone in the comment section just be like, wow. I don't know if you follow KD on social media or NBA, whichever one, they asked him, and when he heard, that Embiid dropped 70, he was like, 70? Wow, like, even Katie was kind of taken aback by it in a good way. So, which brings me, like, to our previous conversation last week about the whole Embiid Jokic conversation. It kind of had me rethink a bit. It had me rethink a bit, but I'm still sticking with my man Jokic. But Embiid dropping 70 has to be my good for this week.
That's
Yeah.
good. And I don't want to take too big of a detour, but pull that last comment up for me, Jay. Pull that last comment up. The good is the Bucks hiring Doc Rivers later this week. That is a very interesting take, and we're going to take a quick detour because I meant to say this at the start of the episode, but we're going to talk about the Bucks firing their head
Head
coach.
coach.
And Dave, what is going on? Because the Bucks are currently comfortably second in the East, and yes, we've given them a hard time, rightfully so, because of several shortcomings. But they're a solid squad this year in the Eastern Conference. Why would they fight? Is there something else going on? What is your take? Before I give you my good for this week, which is definitely not this, but what is your take on the Bucks firing their head coach?
When I had a conversation earlier today about with a box fan actually about it, and I was like, do you see this guy continuing like after this season? And he was like, probably it just depends on where they finish in playoffs. So, like, literally less than 30 minutes later, I get the notification that he's getting fired. And I was like, damn, okay. I hope this isn't my fault. But either ways, I still think this is all comes down to the defense. I think the box, the organization, they are not pleased with the defense. There might be other things, happening in play. Maybe his man management isn't that good, especially with like Giannis and all the big characters in the dressing room. But from my point of view, I think the organization wasn't just happy with the defense. We have to wait and hear the main reason behind it. But for me, I feel it just wasn't. They weren't just satisfied with the level of defense the team was playing, letting in too many points, even though they are scoring points. Because they are what 30. You literally say 30, 13 and 13, first team to sack a coach. That's they are 30 and 13, second in the Eastern Conference. So it's kind of weird. It's a weird one, but
Yeah,
yeah, it's
no,
just
it makes you think something else is going on because anytime we've seen a successful coach fired, especially at a midpoint or not even really, I mean, we're almost at the midpoint. slash maybe at the midpoint, but it something else is going on behind that. But they're definitely going to get a solid coach to replace him. Do not think that is going to be Doc Rivers. My good, it's going to add on to your good because, like you said, Embiid had a great performance, but also 62 for Cat and 43 for KD. It was a night for scoring. Last night, the Stars were playing. And again, now the Timberwolves actually kind of biffed that game, and actually KD, or not KD, Cat ended up not finishing that game that great. But 62 points, I mean, that was a really solid performance up until the fourth. But shout out to all three of those dudes. And then I think Jalen, or not, Jason Tatum had a high 30, 30 something. So it was a night for scoring, bro. And we love to see that as NBA fans. So that was my good. Moving into bad, what is your bad for this episode?
My bad. Minnesota Timberwolves. Cat dropped 62. He didn't finish the game well. That was a career night for him. And they ended up losing the game. And I think that was just bad. Like if Cat is dropping 62, you have to go win the game. They lost the game by 3 points. 3 points. So I think for me that was just bad. I like I was don't get me wrong, I'm not a big Cat fan, but to dropping 62 and Embiid is dropping 17 the game next to them, you know, it was good to see big men literally dropping more than 50 plus points. And then your team just couldn't carry over that hump against a struggling Hornet team. Really struggling Hornet team. I don't know. For
Not a
me, that
good
was
look,
just really
bro.
bad. Yeah.
No, not that. That's not. That makes you wonder. Are the Timberwolves going to start slipping as a team, possibly, because that was not a game to lose. So, I've got to say that was a rough one. My bad has to be the Magic. If we're talking about teams that are starting to slip, the Magic are 2-6 in their last games, and their last game was a blowout loss against the Cavs, 126-99. The Magic look like a team that, I don't want to say pretenders because I never thought they were a contender. I don't think either of us did, but they looked like a team that might be in the top four, remain in the top four, and they're starting to slip out. And I still think they could be a play-in team, but I don't think they're the team that they looked like possibly for a number of reasons. Maybe they can still turn it around. As we know, there's still time before the trade deadline. Maybe they'll, if they keep stringing a couple of losses together, they will do something with the pieces they have right now. But that's got to be my bad because that Magic team was fun to watch, bro. Even though they beat our boys, they were beating up on some other teams, and it was fun to watch. And I really enjoyed watching that Magic team play. So the Magic are my bad, but they could still definitely turn that around. And now we're into our ugly. And there's a couple of things you could go into here. Actually, we already talked about one. I actually think the Bucks firing their head coach could be considered an ugly just because where they're at right now, I don't know. For me, it's not a good look. It makes you wonder what is going on. Is it going to be a distraction for the rest of the season? Is there more going on in the organization that might be a distraction? So that would be my ugly, but I already picked mine before that happened. That dropped like right before we went on, bro. So what is your ugly for this week?
The Lakers versus the Nets. That was an ugly game. Um, we all know what happened. Lakers were literally dominating the first half. They were having so much fun, and then the second half it was just really bad. I think if I remember correctly, the Nets outscored the Lakers something close to. It was so bad in that second half. And Doc Rivers, and I'm seeing a lot of
We're seeing lots of Doc Rivers. Maybe it's
yeah,
gonna.
yeah, I've seen lots of that, and it just reminded me of that game where he was commentating the game, and I was enjoying his commentating, so I really don't want him to leave ESPN, so I'm just going to put that aside. But like he was like the energy just felt different, and you could see the energy was just different. The shots weren't just falling, and things weren't just going our way, and a game that we expected the Lakers to win at home, they just couldn't complete. It was just terrible. I felt so like that Friday. I felt sick. I was watching and I was all happy watching the game. First half I was vibing, and then I just felt sick that Friday night. Like it was disgusting to watch that second half. So for me, that was my ugly, and that's still my ugly. I still feel some type of way about it though.
I agree. I agree with the comment, Jay. I also think that uh, Doc Rivers is overrated. I would not hire him if I were the Bucks, but that is a guy that would probably get a job if he's actually looking for it. So, anyways, my ugly though. does not have to do with Doc Rivers or the Bucks. It has to do with Tristan Thompson being suspended for
Oh,
25 games for violating the NBA anti-drug program.
I saw
And
that.
first and foremost, I'm not going to talk about this like Tristan Thompson is still the because I want to start by saying this. I want to give Tristan Thompson some flowers. I think he's underrated. I don't think he's overrated. I think he's underrated. Am I going to say that he's a star and a Hall of Famer? Absolutely not. But he is one of the best role players that LeBron played with in Cleveland and overall. And there were some seasons, especially when if Kevin Love was down or once Kyrie left, there were some seasons where actually Tristan Thompson was one of those only dudes putting numbers up with LeBron. He was one of the only guys that was actually having decent performances, double performances. So I'm not going to blow too much smoke, but Tristan Thompson is not that dude anymore. But just the fact that he's getting suspended for 25 games, that's a little too much for me. That's definitely my ugly just because that's just a terrible look, bro. Come on now, man. Like especially as a vet and you probably have players that look up to you in the locker room. I don't think that's something that is a good look. So that's my ugly, but there's plenty more out there, absolutely, of good, bad, and ugly. And if Doc Rivers is hired as the Bucks, that might be my bad. Just a news flash because I'm not a believer in that being a good thing. And maybe some Bucks fans are behind me with that. If you are, feel free to say it in the chat because we get flamed all the time in here for our Bucks takes. But if you don't, it's okay too. I'm sure I'll hear it either way. Moving right along, we're going to stop talking Bucks and we're going to start talking a little Kevin Durant. If you read our titles, you know Kevin Durant the GOAT. Well, I don't think either of us think that, but we're going to get right into that because Kevin Durant was approached by a reporter, and first of all, reporters say and ask stupid questions. They say the dumbest things, and they definitely stir the pot. And in this scenario, he was basically asked slash put in the conversation of, "Are you in the goat conversation?" And he confidently, which I don't think a dude, especially a dude of his caliber in the NBA, shouldn't be confident in his ability, but he maybe a little too confidently said, "Yeah, I'm in the goat conversation." So I think I already spoiled the segment, whoops, and said neither of us think that's true. But David, my question to you is this. Kevin Durant, should he be in the GOAT conversation? Was that a statement that makes any sense? And my second question is, where do you have him at all time? Is he even in your top 20? Should he throw his name in there? But I mean, yeah, where's he at, bro? Where's he at for you? Those are my questions for you because that to me was a wild take. That was a very wild thing to say because it's not like you're coming off of a championship winning season or something great. You're just saying, "Oh yeah, I'm in the conversation." Not an MVP season. You're putting up great numbers, but you haven't really done anything statistically or accolade-wise since Golden State. So my question to you is this, bro. Where's he at on your all-time list? And should he even have said that he should be in the GOAT combo?
No, what? KD's forgive me, my background is noisy a bit, but KD is a future Hall of Famer, so we'll just put that out there. His resume is outstanding, but and this is where we have bots. We have bots. Yes, he's won the championship, he's won the chip, won MVPs, won scoring titles, won whatever you want to say. I think he's also a gold medalist if I remember correctly. Right? Yeah. But what did he do before the Warriors? The 3 years, because I think it was 3 years he spent in the Warriors. And what has he done after the Warriors? So are we basing his goods? Is he basing his claim just on those 3 years in the Warriors? That's my only question. If he is, then yeah, you can. It's fair to say you could. Obviously, he's backing himself, which is good for him. But like KD, what did you do before you went to the Warriors? He literally left Westbrook. Then after the Warriors, and some might say, okay, yeah, they could have gone to the Eastern Conference Finals with the Nets against the Bucks. If not for that, his toe on the line, and things happened. But you haven't done anything outside leaving, you know, um the Warriors. You have practically been injured most of the season, most of the time. You haven't necessarily won anything. You didn't before that. You left Westbrook hanging. You went to the Warriors, literally with the greatness of Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. Went to three finals, won two. You could have probably won the third one. You know, they could have probably some might say they should have won the third one if KD didn't get injured and Klay did get injured. Toronto was not meant to win that. But we can't just base it on 3 years. That is too little of a time to say you should be included in the goods. Because what you're saying is then nah, let me not get into this because it's just a whole different conversation. But no, no, I'm sorry, Katie, and I respect you for backing yourself. You know, back yourself. If you get a goat, you are go to you. But just don't say that out loud. Keep that to yourself and let's get on with life. We know who are the people in the good conversations. Let's get on with life.
I think that's fair. I think for me, I only have three players that I would put in my GOAT conversation, and he's not in my top 10. He is in my top 20. I want to start by saying that. Kevin Durant is in my top 20. I was driving my car, and I've done this a couple of times. I went through a list and I was like, can I name 20 players in the history of the NBA better than Kevin Durant? And I can't. I can't. You cannot do that. If you are a true fan of the NBA, top to bottom, he is one of the best scorers, one of the best at his position, and MVP, champion. I mean, everything is there. But like you said, now I will say his MVP season was before his time in Golden State, but that's because when Golden State was together, that was like a 4 or 5 headed monster. It was not just one person. You had Clay, you had Draymond, you had Steph, you had all those dudes out there that would give you a hard time every single game. So he wasn't going to win MVP that season. It wasn't going to go to him. So to take that away from anyone that takes, I hate people that take away any of what he has done because it was with Golden State. Because yes, it was maddening, bro. I hated it. I don't know about you, bro, but I hated that as an NBA fan. But looking back on it, it was greatness, and it was something else. And he was a huge driving part of that. And so, because I'm sorry, but yes, Steph and Clay and those dudes were a huge part of that, but they would not have beat the Cavs all those times without Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant was brought in to beat the Cavs. Kevin Durant was brought in to get them over the hump. So it absolutely greatness, top 20 player all time, but not in the GOAT conversation. And Kevin Durant also is a dude that has just said things that get people talking, has just said things a lot of the time. And so that's just kind of who he is. And I like him. I'm honestly, as it's ever since he left Golden State, because yes, Smoke, I'll be honest, I hated when he was at Golden State. And I'm sure you love that, but a lot of us non-Warriors fans were not fans of that. Ever since he's left, I've really liked him and I've enjoyed watching him play. And I actually had a buddy of mine watch him the other night in Phoenix, and he dropped 40 while he was there. So he is definitely still that dude, bro. He's still putting up major points, but he is not in the GOAT conversation. And I don't think anyone watching this agrees with that. If anyone does, please in the chat let us know. But so far, everyone that has been active in the chat has been on our side. So guys, I'm so glad in 2024 we could come to the same place and finally agree on something that Kevin Durant is not in the GOAT conversation, because I think we can all agree on that.
That's
Unless someone
exactly.
disagrees.
That's definitely valid. I mean, I don't think anyone in there, right? Like he's a, as I said, future Hall of Famer, probably top 10 all time. You
Without
know,
it, he will
to some
finish in the
people,
top 10 easily, I would say. Even
uh,
without another chip, he probably will.
exactly. So, but then to say what he's technically saying is he's top three. That's what he's technically saying. He's top three, meaning he has passed like top 20, top 15, top 10, and then top five. He's going to top three.
I have him
Okay.
right under my top 20 for sure.
Okay. Yeah,
I have him
definitely.
right. I have him in my top 20, but he's not super like he's definitely not number 10 or number 11 or number 12. Like he's closer to 20 than he is to 10. So I don't know, bro, but shout out to Kevin Durant, because that dude, I mean, I still love watching him play. That's one dude on my bucket list to see live and see play, because that'd be pretty crazy. Moving on though, bro, I've been talking, we're going to move on to a segment. We're going to talk about Pascal Siakam. And no, it's not about how he got traded to the Warriors. I was on one about that for like 4 or 5 shows in a row. I was sitting over, he's going to go to the Warriors. Okay, anyways, that did not happen. I bet the Warriors wish they got him, but they did not get him. Pascal Siakam was traded to the Pacers. So, my question to you is this. We're going to talk about the Raptors a little bit later in the show, and we're going to grade that trade for them and just talk about their future. But looking at just the Pacers slash Pascal Siakam part of the trade, what is your letter grade A to F for this trade? Let me know what do you how successful is this going to be, bro? What do you think is going to happen? And A to F, how are you grading this trade?
B plus. It's that simple. It's a B plus trade for both. Actually, no, more for like the Pacers side because they are getting Pascal Siakam. Bruce, this is not a knock on Bruce Brown. Bruce Brown is amazing. I think I saw something about Lakers wanting to get him, so that's definitely not a knock at him. But for the Pacers side, having a I'll say second option because he's the second option now. Obviously, Tyrese is the first. So having a very dominant, he's an all star. Like you have two all stars on your team now. It's a B plus trade. Do I think it's and the reason why I say it's a B plus trade? Do I think this trade will take them to the championship? No. Do I think take them to the Eastern Conference Championship? No. Finish top three? No. Top five? No. Top eight? Yeah, definitely. Playing? Maybe. No, actually, I don't mind, but definitely, yeah, they will make the play-in. But then, if they do make the playoffs, maybe, yeah, they will. But if they do second round, depending on who they'll probably end up playing Celtics or the Bucks or Embiid and the Sixers. I'm not confident in them beating any of them, even with Tyrese and Siakam. So B plus to Indiana. That was
Yeah.
a good trade. I won't lie. It
Did
helps
you
give them.
expect that? Did you expect him to go there?
No, I didn't actually expect them to trade Bruce Brown. Like if they were trading someone, right? I didn't expect them to trade Bruce Brown, right? Or because we all know Pascal Siakam was in the rumor, so that makes more sense. But then Bruce Brown, I didn't know. I didn't expect that one because
It was a little
I
bit of an
felt like he was a
unexpected
good.
trade,
Yeah, I felt he was
but
a
a
good
good
role
trade.
player.
But a
Yeah,
good. The Pacers needed to beef up that position, and like they've needed to add depth to that position. And Pascal Siakam is the perfect depth to add. And your rating, bro, like we agree on a lot on this show. Luckily, the fact that the Lakers are the best team ever, we agree on that. But this another thing we agree on is that this is a B plus, bro. This is easily a B plus. And I saw a comment from Nello earlier that said they're one piece away from being contenders, from being like the top dogs. And I agree with that because is that going to be this season? Absolutely not.
nah.
But I see Pascal Siakam. There's big questions about his trade, what's going to happen with the offseason because he's an unrestricted free agent. I think he's coming right back. If Tyrese gets back in, because he's out right now with an injury, but I don't think it's not a long term one. If he comes back in the lineup and they're a full team and they finish, I think they'll finish a sixth seed. I really think they'll finish a sixth to seventh seed, but I think they'll finish a sixth seed with everyone healthy. If they finish a sixth seed, make it to the second round, and then get bounced, I think they'll pick up a big time player in the offseason and be a contender next season. So I think this was a B plus. Now the alternative is it's potentially maybe something happens. Tyrese is out longer, or he comes back and gets back out. And then maybe Pascal Siakam doesn't stay. But I think Siakam is locked in. And I think this Pacers team, they're going to build a team around these dudes. And I think a healthy Tyrese and a dangerous, consistent Siakam, that's scary, bro. Add in Miles Turner. I mean, this is a squad. I didn't expect this trade to happen. I really thought the Warriors were going to pull some strings, bro. Like I know we talk major Warriors, but I really thought that they were going to pull those strings and make it happen. So shout out to the Pacers. They're a legit team. I got a couple of buddies that are Pacers fans, and so they're super happy about this. So shout out to the Pacers. Not the worst team to see start to improve things. It's definitely going to be interesting to see how far they can go this season and going forward. But now it's time for everybody's favorite game, NBA player or guys, this is our second one. This is our first one of 2024, second one of the new season. If anyone is not aware with what this game is, it is NBA player or it will be a random topic. This week, I will say that in a second, but it could be anything. It could be football, it could be music, it could be movies, it could be absolutely anything. We've done politicians from Canada, I think, one time. It is anything. NBA player or, but because of in honor of football season, because yes, college football is sadly over, but NFL, we're at the top of it. With that, this week's topic is NBA player or NFL conference championship player. So that is any player from the four teams that are still in. That is Ravens, that is Chiefs, that is Lions, and that is 49ers. I'm really glad I remembered who all was in. So this is all current. I'm going to tell you right now, David, I was mean last time, and I think I gave you someone from like 1970 possibly. This is all current football players and basketball players. Everybody is current. So I'm gonna give you that right away. But anyone that has not been here before, if David gets one correct, he will hear and you guys will see this sound. Victory! It's amazing. He saw that, I think, 3 times last time because he was 3 for 5. He had a really, really solid showing. If he gets a couple more wrong, which I don't think is going to happen, but if it does, you guys will hear and see a little MJ action. You don't want to see that on the court, and you don't want to see that on your screen. But don't worry, David. Again, David absolutely rocked it last time, and I see that happening this time. Before we
Thank
get
you, thank
started, do you
you.
have any words to say?
No, I like actually, yeah, I do. Like I started watching football so much this season, so I think this should be. I don't want to toot my own horn, but this should be. I hope it should be breezy, you know.
Let's
Um,
go.
so definitely let's get
It's
right
gonna
to
be
it.
easy, bro. Easy
Let's
money.
get
All
right
right,
to
let's get
it.
right into it. The first name is Blake Bell. Is this an NBA player or an NFL player?
Blake Bell, Blake Bell, NFL.
Victory!
What team? What team?
He is a current tight end for the Chiefs. I will tell you right now, he is not the one
Really?
that's dating Taylor Swift and not the one that always gets all the screen time. He's the one that I will say I had my on my fantasy team, and Jay will actually speak to this. My record finished like I don't know, maybe 3 wins. So Blake, you didn't help me that much, bro, and you didn't help me today either. So come on now, I'm 0-2 with you. But hey, you are 1-0 today. So let's go. Name number 2, Micah Potter. Is an NBA player or a current NFL football player?
Oh, Toronto, NBA.
Victory!
Let's go.
This is a current NBA player for the Utah center for the Utah Jazz. Center for the Utah Jazz.
Oh,
2
oh my.
and 0. I might. You know what? We got to take your point away, bro. We got. I'm sorry. We got to take it away.
No, I was thinking of this guy in Toronto.
No, bro. I'm 2-0, but no 2-0. 2-0. Maybe I shouldn't have.
Let's
Maybe
go.
where are my 1978 and 1990 players that averaged 2 points a game? Current center for the Utah Jazz. Now I'm regretting not putting any of those on there. All right, 2-0. Number 3. You're rocking and rolling, bro. Number 3 is Marcus Williams. Marcus Williams.
I don't know why that name sounds so familiar though. Ah. When you said NFL, right, I was thinking you give me like Brock Purdy or Lamar Jackson or you know or NBA when LeBron James or Steph Curry or Giannis. Freaking hell is Marcus Williams. I'm going to go with I feel like this player is a defensive player, so I'm going to go with NFL.
Victory! A current safety for the Baltimore Ravens. The future
Oh,
NFL Super Bowl champs. Just want to throw that out there. Bro, you're on a roll, man. All right, I'm gonna help you
okay.
make our next one a little more difficult because you're just right through these. But I'm impressed, bro. Let's keep it up. Number 4, you are on your way for your first 5 for 5. Number 4 is Blake Wesley. Is this an NBA player or NFL? AFC NFC championship player.
I would love if someone in the comments could give me a hint. Someone in the comments could give me a hint. That's why it's quite Blake Wesley. What? Oh. Hmm. Mm, 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 mm. Hmm. I'm still waiting for that hint. No one comments. No. Okay. NBA.
Victory!
What team?
Wow, bro, that's you're on a roll, man. He is a current Spurs shooting guard. Current,
Does it?
he's
Does he
averaging like
start?
3.2 points a game. No, this is not a dude you probably would have heard of, but still, you're 4 for 4 right now. And the
Okay.
last one that will get you to your first ever 5 for 5 in your second ever attempt, Jonah Jackson. Is this an NBA player or a current NFL, AFC, or NFC championship player?
No, wait. Actually, no. NFL.
Flawless victory.
All right, bro.
What defense? What
You did
team?
it, bro. He is a current guard for the Lions. All
I don't
right,
know.
5 for 5. If
Do you
you
know
are in
what?
the chat, flood it, flood it. Let's go. Give David his first ever 5 for 5. If you missed it, he just went his first ever 5 for 5. He killed it, absolutely destroyed it. Good job, bro. I'm proud of you. I got to come
Thank
up with
you.
harder
Thank
ones
you.
next time. I'm gonna bring back the.
This
I'm gonna
this
bring
this
back
wasn't hard though. This wasn't hard though. You literally brought on defense. I don't watch defense. I only
That's
care about the
fine.
offense during NFL when
That's
I'm
fair that
watching
you
the
knew it
game.
though, bro. You still were on point. But either way, great job. We were not
Thank
doing,
you.
as you guys
Appreciate it.
possibly know, our viewers that tune in every week, we are not doing them every single week, but we are going to do them throughout this season, and we will do another one. And maybe we'll switch up the sides at some point
Exactly. Yeah, I
and
might
see.
probably host the next one. Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
we're thinking. We're gonna switch it up on you guys. So it'll be fun and we'll keep tabs of who has the better record. So it'll be fun. So thank you guys for having fun with us on that. But now for our next segment, we talked about the Pacers. Now it's time to talk about the Raptors.
Wrapped.
We can go into a little bit of a grade on them, but I just really want to know what your thoughts on them as a team as a whole are because there's been so much movement for them. They've been moving so many pieces and they're so young now. And this is not the same squad that helped win the championship. Now this is a completely different squad. And so for me, it's like, is this team going to try to go places with who they have, or are they in rebuild mode, bro? What are your thoughts on this young Raptors team? They're currently 12th in the East with 16 wins and I believe 28 losses. Sounds about right to me. They're not out of being in the plan, but they're definitely not in. So, what are your thoughts, bro, on this Raptors team after all this movement?
Yeah. Definitely no. First, I have to appreciate all the love in comments. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Even though I didn't get any help, thank you very much. Um, but in terms of the Raptors, I really don't know to be honest. It's like they're one of those teams where it's like it is what it is. Like I don't see them doing anything. The trade they got Bruce Brown. Obviously, they have Bruce Brown, Dennis Schroeder, Scotty Barnes. We used to say Pascal Siakam, but no more. Um, Otaparo Jr. too. They have those guys over there. And a really passionate coach. I have to say the coach is really passionate about what he does. So yeah, I don't know how I feel about them. I don't think they'll make it. I feel they'll probably make it to the play and I'll probably lose. That's just how I see it this year. And from their side again, I'll probably give them a B on the trade because if you compare Bruce Brown to Pascal Siakam, there isn't really anything there. And obviously they got draft picks, but except if they are building for the future, then if they are building for the future, then that makes sense. But as of right now, B is what I'll give the Raptors. They are just I don't know, they are just teams They are just one of those teams that they don't move me, to be honest. So
I get that. They definitely have done a really good job of drafting the last couple of years. And I think they're going to continue with the picks they've picked up and also the players they have. I see them being a team, honestly, much like that OKC team before they assembled into who they are now, and having some young pieces that they've picked up from trades or that they've built homegrown trade like draft. So I think that this Raptors team is going to have success, but that I don't think that they're going to have it this season to the point of being a team that's in the talk of the town and that's going to make the playoffs. But I do think they have a chance of making the play-in. But my prediction is they finish 11th and they draft well and they build their team up. I think they'll be that type of team. But their ceiling is absolutely making that 10th or maybe ninth seed, but they would scrape that 10th seed in if they get it. It would be one of those things where it's like 4 teams are going for the 10th seed at the end of the year and they're the team that gets it, something like that. So I don't think there's any way, and maybe not even 4, 3, 2, whatever, but we've seen that, and I don't think that that's going to be something we see. So I think the Raptors are going to be a good team, and some of the pieces they have now are going to be a part of that. But I don't think that we're going to see that this season. So shout out to the Raptors, though. They seem to be a team that's on the move and making things happen. And maybe they'll make another move, bro. Maybe we'll talk about them next show. Maybe they have another plan to bring us start to do something. I don't know what that would be, and I'm doubtful, but who knows, bro? Maybe we'll be talking about them more. But Smoke, I hope you're still here because now it's time to talk about something that we cannot wait to recap next episode. That is Saturday, January, what is it, 27th? Is that correct? I believe. Saturday, January 27th, the Lakers take on the Golden State Warriors. And my question is this. Lakers versus Warriors. I'm trying to ignore the chat right now. I'm trying to ignore. I'm really doing my best to ignore it, guys. Usually I try to interact with you, but right now I'm kind of ignoring it. Anyways, what I was what I was going to say was this. Lakers versus Warriors. Who do you have winning, and who do you have? And we've talked who's the better team, who's this, who's that. But I'm going to ask you again because the team they seem to be trading wins, losses, wins, losses. They're really inconsistent. Who is truly the better team now, and who do you think is going to win this game on Saturday? And I know my answer, and I think I know your answer. But let's know. Let everyone else know, bro. Who is going to win this game on Saturday?
um, I'm going to say the Warriors. Yeah, I'm going to say the Warriors. So wait, what? See, my mic even told me I was wrong. My bad. The Lakers. Sorry, that was so wrong. The Lakers. The Lakers are going to win this game. First, we have to just say our condolences to the Warriors and the organization. They lost a big part of their staff in the organization. So, um, um, we apologize and we hope you guys are all doing well. If you ever hear this, but the Warriors haven't played a game, I think, in over a week. They'll probably be back either today or tomorrow. The Lakers do play today. They play the Clippers today. This is NBA. This is the NBA rivals week, so they are definitely playing today. LeBron isn't playing today, but I do believe he'll be back on Saturday. Uh, Lakers are just a better team. I'm sorry, like I don't like that's my only reason for saying they'll win because they're the Lakers and they are the better team.
Man, bro,
So
I
that's
don't
it.
know. After the chat earlier and you saying the Warriors are going to win,
Um,
we might have to end the show right now, bro. But
my
I
bad.
what you
I was
said
so
is very true. Lakers are the better team, top to bottom. And even our fans even the fans of the show that don't agree with the Lakers being a good team and think that we're not the best team and say that we're 2.5 whatever. At the moment, top to bottom as a team, looking record aside, because record we're still a better team. Looking at our team top to bottom position wise, we are a better team than the Warriors. We outmatch the Warriors at every position except for Curry. Curry is the one player at the moment that I think we don't outmatch. Wiggins on a good night possibly is up there too, but really it's just Curry. It is truly just Curry on that team. And Curry could go off and have a big game, but it's not going to be enough. Klay Thompson is all over the place. Draymond Green can't decide if he wants to be suspended or on the court. And Andrew Wiggins is not consistent enough. They don't have a big man that's going to shut down AD or stop even Rui. They cannot stop us, bro. And so here's what I think. It's going to be a close game through 3. I do think they're going to keep it close, and it's going to be a good game. But I'm going to be honest, bro. Once we get to the 4th, I think the Lakers are going to do what the Lakers have not done a very good job of doing the last few seasons. I think they're going to run away with the game because we have seen them do that some this season. Have we seen them do it every game? No. We saw them do that against the Trailblazers, though. They ran away with that game, and we saw some showtime. We've seen more showtime. We've seen them get more comfortable. We've seen D'Angelo Russell play better. We've seen this team perform better. So here's what I'm going to say. I am not standing here right now in front of anybody who's watching this show live or not live, whatever, saying that the Lakers are better than the Bucks, better than the Celtics, better than the Nuggets. Right now, we're not that team, but we are still a team to talk about, and we are a team that is absolutely up there. And you know what, King Cal, the Lakers can't even hang with the Clippers. Who beat them last time? And you know what? You know what? Okay, you know what, bro?
Three times.
I wasn't going to do this because it's
twice.
I wasn't going to do this because I got this weird thing where I don't like to talk about games on the live show when it's going to end, whatever. But you know what? Let's give a prediction about today's game because we got plenty of time. We got all day, baby, to talk Lakers basketball. So Lakers, Clippers, King Cal, thank you for saying that. We beat the Clippers last time we played them. Now, what I will say is this. Last 2, that's true. What I will say is this. LeBron being out is a big thing. Anthony Davis, last I checked, was day-to-day, but he's pretty much day-to-day every single game. I will say this, King Cal. I do think at the moment the Clippers are better than the Lakers as a whole. Thank you. Anyways, back to what I was saying. I'm very aware the Clippers are higher. They're currently one of the best teams in the NBA. What I'm saying is this. They were still one of those teams when we beat them last time. If Anthony Davis is in, even without LeBron, I think we're going to be in that game. Am I confident we're going to run away with it and we're going to – you do not own LA. Okay, bro. Yeah, that's crazy. I'm not even going to give that the time of day because no matter if we win or lose, y'all do not own LA. Y'all are literally the little siblings that live in the basement. Like, it's taken you how many years to get your own arena? Like, that's crazy, bro. That's absolutely insane. But anyways, nah, bro. It's crazy to me. And yes, the Clippers are – the better team currently standings-wise and top to bottom as a whole. But again, if Anthony Davis is healthy and we show up like we did against Portland, I think it'll be a game. And man, I'm gonna give it. I technically did just get. You're right, I did, but I'm trying not to give it too much. I would still give it. I would have to possibly give it to the Clippers in this one, if I'm being honest, with LeBron out. But I still think it'll be a good game, and it's a toss-up for me. I'm not giving to the Clippers by more than 5 to 6 points. I'm just saying I think the Clippers might be – if they have their full squad, which last I checked, they have a pretty full squad, I do think they will beat us if LeBron is out. And if AD is out too, there's no way. I'm sorry. If AD and LeBron are out, we're not a team that's going to be able to beat the Clippers. So I don't – last I checked, AD was day-to-day, but again, that's every single game. So it's hard to say, bro. But either way, I do have the Lakers – I have the whole squad being in by Saturday for the Warriors, no matter who plays today. And give me the Lakers 125 to 115 over the Warriors on Saturday. I think they'll run away with it in the fourth quarter.
I'll put down my bet slip. I'll predict that correct score bets on my bet slip.
Let's go, bro.
I'm confident that was the scoreline.
I think, dude, that's what I'm saying, bro. So despite, I mean, again, today's game might be ugly. Not ugly, but we might lose. Let me take that back. I don't think it's gonna be a blowout. We might lose, but by Saturday we're gonna be ready to go, bro. And I'm excited. I, for one, am excited to see that. And Smoke, don't you worry. Next week we will be back ready to talk about, go over how it went, because I'm hoping that 115 to 125 is the outcome. But you never know. Especially, man, if there is if something else, an injury, this or that, that'll be a little concerning. But as of now, I think everybody's going to be ready to go. The Mavs, talking Mavs. We haven't talked Mavs today. We're not probably going to talk too much Mavs, but shout out.
We did beat them last.
Facts. Yeah. See?
That's true.
Told
Remember?
y'all we would. And they had their full squad, which I will say, I said they wouldn't be able. I didn't say we wouldn't be able to do it. I said there was a more likely chance we would lose with Luca and Kyrie in, but we did not lose. That was a really solid game. But
We
Mavs, I
ran
will
away
say,
with the
stay on
game.
a
Yeah.
solid team. Make sure you keep that. Okay, let's go, Smoke. We'll
Let's
see you right
go.
here next time. That's the first thing we'll talk about right off the bat. It'll be my good. I'm going to tell y'all
Exactly.
right
Me
now,
too. That's literally what I was about to say. Yeah.
no matter what
That's
else
literally what
happens, if we win, it'll be my good. And if we lose, it'll probably be my bad. So, no, but it'll be my good, probably, I would say, unless something crazy happens, which you never know. It could happen. It's NBA basketball. It's the NBA is always crazy. So you're going to be so sad. Okay, let's go, Smoke. I'm ready to go. I don't want to get too sidetracked because honestly, our last segment is, I'm excited for it. We are doubling up today on top fives. Doing 2 top fives, same exact topic, but different styles for each one. The first one is top 5 current, or excuse me, top 5 NBA duos all time. We're talking the best NBA duos to ever step on the court together. And then our second one we're going to do is the top 5 current NBA duos, which will be the best of the best in the league right now. Starting with top 5 all-time duos, I'll get started with my number 5. Coming at number 5 for me all time, it's got to be Steph and Clay. 4 championships together, Splash Brothers, famous for absolutely raining down threes. Unfortunately for Warriors fans, including Smoke, they are not doing that at the moment. But Steph and Clay, without a doubt, I had to put them on this list. I was thinking of all these great duos, and I just could not leave Steph and Clay off my list because the amount of championship appearances they have and the amount of championships they have together, the amount of threes those dudes have, and the efficiency and the beautiful basketball they played together. Shout out to those dudes. So my number 5 for all time has to be Steph and Clay. How do you have the best duo at number 5? That's funny. Who's your number 5, bro, all time?
Number 5, LeBron and Wade. That's my number 5. I'm just going to list this. I'm not going to say too much on them. LeBron and Wade, simple. We all know what they did. You have guys recreating literally almost what they did most of the time. But yeah, I think the numbers speak for themselves. Championships speak for themselves, and their off the court relationship also speaks for itself. So yeah.
I mean, that's a good pick. I had a feeling we'd see LeBron on here for you, judging by our chat the other day. I mean, maybe we'll see him a couple of times, but no, LeBron, absolutely. I mean, LeBron and D Wade, one of the best to do it. Coming in at number 4 for me, this might be my first take that not shocks you, David, but you might not agree with. This might be the first one you don't agree with the most, than where they're at. My number 4 is Kobe and Shaq. 3 championships together, 4 appearances in the finals. I have them at my number 4, or I have them at my number 4 because there's a couple of duos in front of them for me, championship wise, and what they were able to accomplish together wise. But Kobe and Shaq are on my all time list because it was a Showtime level of basketball that was different. It wasn't Showtime, Kareem, and Magic, but it was a different level of basketball that only those two were playing. And they had a connection that, despite their off-court stuff and everything else, it was different. So they're my number 4. They might be higher up for you, but for me, they're comfortably my number 4. What do you got at your number 4, bro? Who do you have sitting there?
John Stockton and Karl Malone. I mean, anyone I wasn't necessarily born in that era, so I don't necessarily know too much. But after watching The Last Dance and seeing how they paved their way to like the NBA championship, if not for, Jordan and Pippen and the rest of them, 100% would have won a chip. And they would have gained more recognition. But the fact that they didn't win a chip and we're still talking about them as one of the greatest duos just shows how good they are together, especially in that 2-man pick and roll game. So that's my number 4, Stockton and Karl Malone.
That's a good pick. No, that's a great one. Great one right there. My pick for number 3, we're getting where it's real, bro. Now it's real. We're in the top 3 all time. So this is where some people might really agree or disagree. And it makes me a little sick, bro. I'm not gonna lie, just a little bit, to have this team specifically, not these two dudes, but the team they play for here at my number three. But my number three has to be Bob Cousy and Bill Russell. And here's what I'm going to say. That's
Mm,
going back. I mean, they played together from 1957 to 1963. So those two played. I mean, that's taking it back. But 6 championships in 7 appearances, and they played basketball that they would win today. They would win in any era. I mean, Cousy was playing just absolutely like just it's different. He was different. He was a different guard. What he was doing on the court would translate to recent basketball. Maybe not the most recent, but he would absolutely be a very like high level all-star guard up until the 2000s easily. So I've got to go with this Bob Cousy, Bill Russell lineup because those two were doing nothing but winning championships and dominating during the regular season. So that's comfortably my number three without a doubt. Now we're getting into where it gets real, bro. It gets real right here, man. Oh, all right. Top two all time. Who do you have sitting in your number two spot, bro?
yeah. My number before I get to my number three is Kobe and Shaq. Obviously, we all know what they did, and what we'll just leave it there. But my number two, I
My bad,
have
bro. Did I not ask you your number three?
no, yeah, you good. It's obviously Kobe and Shaq. Number three is Kobe and Shaq. Um, you know, I think that was your number four, if I remember. No,
Yes,
number
sir.
four.
You already
That
know.
was number four. Or not number yeah, number four. Kobe and Shaq. We all know what they did. Is it five? No, four championships together. I can't remember.
Four appearances, 3-1.
Oh yeah. Well, you all know how dominant they were and how good they are. God rest is so Kobe. Yeah. So that's my number three. But my number two, Magic and Kareem. Um, Showtime, pretty much the originator of Showtime, LA. Um, they pretty much ran the whole NBA for a minute before Bad Boys and the Jordans of the world came about. But yeah, it has to be Magic and Kareem, and the amount of championships speak for themselves. The amount of buckets, the amount of assists, everything just speaks for itself. Pretty much gave the Lakers the name they were, and obviously Russell and Cruz is a big shout out, going at it with Magic and Kareem all the time. So yeah.
I would say no. That's great. I mean, we got the same number. We might have the same top two because my number two is also Magic and Kareem. 5 championships together, helped save. I mean, here's the thing. People say that it was Magic Johnson and Larry Bird that helped save the NBA, and that's very accurate because yes, those were the. But I mean, Kareem was right there with them helping do that. Same with Larry Bird's teammates. There were all stars and stars on both sides that were helping drive this. And what Kareem helped do for this Lakers team was incredible. So, 5 championships together in 8 appearances and helped create a Showtime brand of basketball that's still special. So, easily number two. Sitting at number one, this is where it gets real. This is the real one. I think we all know who this is going to be, but maybe there'll be a surprise here. Who do you got at number one, bro?
Jordan and Pippen. I mean, I don't have to say anything about it. It's one of those things where everyone practically knows what happened and what they achieved and it's just phenomenal. And we all know that Jordan wouldn't have reached where he reached without Pippen, and Pippen won't be the face. Well, not the face, my bad. Jordan won't. Sorry, Pippen won't be the icon he is right now if not for Jordan. So they definitely needed themselves. So MJ and Scotland, how they just it has to be number one all the time. And yeah, I guess we should both have that. Yeah.
Easy. No, I'm not even gonna. We're gonna get onto our current list because we easily have Jordan. I mean, they were 6 for 6 in the finals. I mean that you can't argue with that. They were perfect. So now it's gonna get a little more recent. We're gonna go current. Who are our top 5 current? We'll start with you this time so that I don't skip you this time, bro. Who is your number 5 for best current duo?
Number five. Oh, I have no, I have a list right here, right? And I'm looking at it, and in my head, I haven't ranked it, right? But I'm just going to. I think I'm going to give some honorable mentions. Giannis and Dame is a honorable mention. It's not my top five because they are literally just got together. The sample size is quite small. I expected a two-man game from them, but they haven't been playing that, so I don't really know. Um, oh, okay. Um, Another mention is Fox and Sabonis. I mean, I feel it's really underrated. Like their two-man game between the Fox up at Sacramento and Sabonis is a really good game. Best what easily one of best duos in the league right now. So those are my honorable mentions. But for my number five, I'm going to go with Kyrie and Luca. Um, and I'm just going to leave it there.
I think that's good. I think for me, Kyrie and Luca have not. They're in my honorable mention because I don't feel like they've had enough time. They've been together longer than a Giannis and a Dame, but I feel like they've not had enough time on the court so far this season for me to put them in my top five. But they're definitely in my top 10, and they would be an honorable mention for me. My number five has to be Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, another duo that haven't played quite enough games together due to injuries and being out for different reasons, but they've started to be a little more consistent, and when they play together, expect them to complement each other's games extremely well. One of them is going to have 35 plus points, and they are extremely offensively efficient and accurate together. So I've got to give them my number five spot. Now, don't expect seeing them on the court very often together because it doesn't happen that often. But when they are on the court together, expect big things. So that's my number five. Going into number four, who do you have at number four for best duos?
Number four, I have KD and Booker up in there. You said it already. Really good guys. I think they complement themselves. They know when they know when to. They each know when to take over. When KD needs to take over, he knows when to do it. When Booker needs to take over, he knows when to. When they both need to take over, they both do it. So I think they really complement themselves. As you said, they haven't played that much basketball too. Quite larger than Giannis and Dame. But I think so far from what we have seen, with the amount of basketball they have played, really good to amazing group of guys up there.
No, absolutely agreed. My number four is our guys, LeBron and AD. They're on my top five, absolutely, but they almost were my number five. I do have them above Booker and KD, mainly because they've played more. LeBron and AD, their current record does not show it, but this is their best and most consistent they've played together on the court since their championship season for a beginning half of the year. Usually LeBron is out or AD is out, but right now they've both been really consistent, and their record honestly isn't terrible. It's not great. I'm not sitting over here saying it's great, but they're going to get that turned around, and I'm sure they will move up on the list as we go because they're playing really good basketball. So the fact that they're both healthy and they're both when they both are on the court playing together, expect the Lakers to be competitive. Have they dropped games together? Absolutely. I'm going to say that right here and right now, and that's why they're not the best on the list and they're not always the most consistent on the court together. But that's my number four easily. Getting into our top three, bro. Who do you have number three?
LeBron and AD. Yeah, I think they will definitely be higher if we won more games. If Lakers won more games, I think it's definitely be higher. But they are still phenomenal. You can see their pick and roll every time they play the pick and roll. Every time there's a cut, AD finds LeBron, LeBron finds AD. Always really no look, no look pass every time. So we saw it from the bubble, and we're still seeing it now. They are still going, if not for injuries. Only it's really who knows what would have happened if not for the injuries of to AD and LeBron at crucial times of the season. So, yeah, that's my number three, LeBron and AD.
That's a good pick. Absolutely good pick. My number three has to be again. This is a tough one to make, but mine one has to be Giannis and Dame, and they're on my list because I do think they're dynamic, and the fact that they're sitting at the top two despite all of their defensive issues and everything going on, that's just a testament to the fact that they have those two guys helping lead the way. And I do think they'll win a title. I don't think it'll be this year, but I do think that they will win a title together. So that's my number three. I mean, I think the pieces will fall in place, but they look like they're getting more comfortable and they're starting to put some memorable performances up together. So that's my number three. Now we're into our top two, bro. Who's your number two?
Um, PG and Kawhi is a good mention. PG and Kawhi is
That's an
just they
honorable
have
mention for me too. Absolutely.
this season they have been good. I'll give you that honorable mention. They have been good. But for my number two, give me Jason Tatum and um, what's his name? Why am I blanking out right now?
Jaylen Brown. I got you,
Jalen
bro.
Brown. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Give me Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown.
Easy, bro. Me too. That's easy, bro. Absolutely same here. I mean, they're sitting number one in the East, and they're doing that for a reason. They complement each other extremely well. And now we're getting to the best of the best, bro. Who is your number one for the best duo in the current NBA?
Jokic and Murray. Definition of two-man game. You see that every time they play, they are on the court. You see, like they always run that two-man game with Jokic and Murray. Jokic setting the pick and then rolling, gives it to then Murray gives it to Jokic. Jokic either goes on to score or he gives it back to Murray, who is wide open for the three always, every time. Easy two-man game, best duo in the league. They would have definitely done much more damage to the league, especially in the bubble. Don't get me wrong, that bubble was close. If Murray didn't get injured, I think that would have been a close call for the Lakers. But
Absolutely.
100% best duo in the
Absolutely.
league right now.
Took the words right out of my mouth, bro. We agree on a lot, and this is another one of those things. Joker and Murray unfortunately scorched our Lakers and went all the way to a chip, and they might go all the way to a chip again if we're not careful. So shout out to them. Well, that is the end of another show. Thank you guys so much. But before we hop out of here, this is not the only place we can find us. David, where else can we find you when it comes to podcasting?
Definitely, as you guys know, I'm a big basketball fan, but I'm also my number one love is soccer or football. Please forgive me. So you can find me on Mind of the Football Fans podcast. We're actually going live pretty much right after this. Check us out. We talk all things Premier League football, and we talk a little bit about European football as well. So check us out, and you find me there. My co-host also Spy, talking about the best of the best. If and he does have some interesting takes about the what they call it, the Warriors and Steph, how Steph is better than LeBron. So if you want to
Oh.
hear more of those type of conversations, come check us out over there.
Yep, check those dudes out. And as always, the Connor and Heffernan Show, you can check us every Friday or Saturday. Not every Friday or Saturday, but some Fridays or Saturdays. We talk all sports, NFL, college football, basketball, everything. And then Purple and Gold Zone, my Lakers show, is taking a little bit of a break, but we will be coming back with a new episode and maybe a new format. So stay tuned for that. But as always, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we will talk to you guys next week.
So